You're gonna see what happens when nothing. Justice for Ken.
Get the fuck out!
Keep going, keep going. You wanna do it right? I don't know how to latch right.
Yeah, it's good.
No one connects some more.
Yeah, she's coming, she's coming. Oh shit! This was a victory for Team Ken. I only left because I think they learned their lesson. We are enough. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Being arrested on multiple counts of harassment. Obviously, we have the power. Don't look at that bullshit. Don't give up the fight. Justice for Ken. Justice for Jude.
Yeah.
Yo, check this out. Put that on a t-shirt.
I couldn't scratch my balls for the entire running time of this movie because any sudden movements would have gotten me arrested for real. Going into this movie, I was expecting a dumb, fun comedy for all the kids that finally grew up. Instead, I got a high-stakes political thriller where Ken becomes a misogynistic super terrorist and they fight for the fate of Barbie Land. I didn't hate this movie. I think it definitely has some redeemable qualities that make it worth your time, as long as you're not too far down the spectrum. I meant that one. But it has some flaws that definitely hold it back from what it could have been. Will Ferrell, who I thought was Seth Rogen, but he isn't, he's just Jewish, is pretty good as an over-the-top comic book villain. They don't play too much of a part though, and they're almost entirely unnecessary, especially in the last act. I think they could have written him in better, or at least saved a couple shekels by not having such a highly renowned actor play such a minor role. Michael Cera, who plays Alan, I think fits really well in his role as comic relief. I would have liked to see more of him, but I understand that they probably couldn't do that for plot reasons, and I'm just happy that he got the screen time that he did. I mean, look at this fucking guy. He's just nice to look at. Margot Robbie, I wasn't sure if she was going to fit in this role. She's strangely regular, and I'm only familiar with her as like a generic hot woman, not something as over the top as Barbie. I was expecting an actress that's a little more, bimbo-y, but it actually works out for plot reasons and also just because she does a great job. I love a good hot woman crying scene, and I was not disappointed. Not surprisingly, my favorite part of the movie is Ken. From the start, the conflict between him and Asian Ken is some of the best stuff in the movie. I think the concept of your arch nemesis being just another more Asian version of you, and then your dream girl being just another version of everyone else works really well for this movie. Even the fish out of water stuff with Ken discovering the patriarchy works so much better because it's lighthearted and treated as a joke. Barbie's arc is way more depressing and focused on disillusionment, which didn't really resonate with me because I don't think this movie was made for me. So yeah, my favorite part of the Barbie movie was the horses, beer, and bromance between main Ken and Asian Ken. There's a music number in this movie that fits perfectly and doesn't jarringly halt the entire plot. The scene actually works really well in allowing the movie to flow from one arc to the next. I think Ken going from femboy simp to incel supervillain and then finally realizing that he can be his own person without those things, or with Barbie, is some of the best writing that the movie has. And that's weird, because it's the Barbie movie. That's the big issue that this movie has. Its messaging and writing for the thing that it should be focused on is really fucking bad.
Oh, hi, Mark.
If you want to change people's minds, maybe the best way isn't by repeatedly hammering them with the same straightforward, very heavy-handed message. You can do the boys versus girls gender stuff, but there are better, more nuanced ways to do it. Anybody that agrees with this movie's message didn't need you to shout it at them 50 times to get the point across. And anyone that disagrees isn't going to be convinced to think a little more critically because the way that the movie handles its messaging is just annoying. The message of the movie isn't something bad or something that I disagree with. It points out real double standards that do exist, even if that point is delivered in a 3-minute long slam poetry performance. This movie had so much hype. There was real potential for it to be culturally significant and stay relevant for more than 2 weeks because it actually had an impact on society. But they didn't do it. It really should have been more than a girl power movie with a couple good jokes. I think a multi-billion-dollar property should be able to write something more profound and insightful than the world is a bad place. Either way, I do think it's worth a watch. Even if it's just you and the boys, I think it's a genuinely funny movie, and a couple of beers will go a long way. But there was no tasteful scissoring scene, clothed or not, which is unrealistic. So I've got to give it 3 out of 10.
Like Barbie.
Like Barbie.
South home, right?
And I'm back like the Barbie.
I'm a dog, but I still wanna party.
Bring felt like I'm ready to blend.
Bro, I'm a 10, so I pull in a 10.
Like Debbie, Stacy, what you got? For the Barbie's pretty good.
All of the Barbie just get girls. Can't we keep playing tag?
Where?
Really speak me when I get back. I'm in LA, but they'll drive. I'm in New York, Madison Ave. Got my Barbie girl.
Big Barbie dream house. The way can be delicious. I'm yelling out at this game house.
She get yelling out, we ain't selling out. We got money, but we ain't lending out. We got bars, but we ain't billing out. In that pink Ferrari, we pillin' out. That whole tape, bring the Bob Dylan out. It so cold, we just chillin' out. Baby, yellin', get yellin' out. It's just Barbie, bitch, and you still in doubt.
Hello guys. This is the first time I've ever worked on a project that's been so extensive and ambitious. It's kind of like the culmination of my 3 years of digging around on YouTube. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to go as well as it did. I'm very happy with how it came out, even if it's a little shoddy. I think the potential to mess up worse than I did was huge, because I made a music video, movie review, sketch comedy skit, and I have no experience in any of that. So if you watched it and enjoyed it, that makes me happy. That's all I can say. I really do hope that you guys will subscribe, because I get like on average a couple thousand views for my videos most of the time, and I have 600 subscribers, which means that there's probably literally one of you that is a there's literally one of you that's a subscriber watching right now, which is an insane ratio. I stayed up all night to try to complete this because I wanted to get it done before the weekend so that Barbie hype didn't disappear. The video took 3 all-nighters, mental anguish, and a heavy dose of my mental illness to complete. But it's out. I definitely do think I prefer this type of content to make, even if it goes nowhere. Honestly, I just had a great time making it. It was fun shooting on site. It was fun being on camera. I've never been on camera before, ever. And I always said I wanted to be an actor, and look at this. So I think I did a pretty good job. I think further down the line, most of my content is going to follow this formula with a skit in the beginning and then some kind of review or discussion afterwards. But probably no more music videos, because that took like 8 hours and it's only 56 seconds. When I started doing this, I was really into the edit heavy stuff, and it was miserable, and it still is. I didn't get much better at it, so probably gonna not do that for a long while. To be completely honest, I'm just trying to fill time, because even though I spent 3 nights making my video, it didn't reach 10 minutes. So I'm just talking for as long as I possibly can before I knock out on the spot. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, and it'll help blow me up, because school starts in 20 days and I don't want to go back ever. So make me a YouTuber, please. Michael Cera, who plays Alan, I think fits really well in his role as comic relief.